All right, and we are talking with a mermaid. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Tell us your name and what you do.
My name is Mermaid Amara, and I am a professional mermaid, and I do kids' birthday parties, and I have been at the YMCA for their summer camps, and I appear at festivals, and I just love to play and swim with the kids.
What does it mean to be a professional mermaid?
Well, basically it means that I get to dress up in a tail and I get paid to go and play with the kids at the swimming pool or at the YMCA. I'll read them stories and we'll make little crafts sometimes and and then what we'll do is they'll ask me questions and they get to pick out of the treasure box at the very end, and then usually it's time to go and everything's finished at that point.
Could we see your tail now?
Of course, I'm not wearing my tail right now, but I have a whole bunch of tails actually laid out, so hopefully you'll be able to see them okay. So first I'll show you my professional tail that I wear for when I do birthday parties. It is a silicone tail. Can you see it? Yeah. It's made out of dragon skin. And it's very realistic. So this is the one that I wear when I do mainly the kids' parties and the YMCA events. When I do festivals, sometimes I wear a fabric tail because they're a little easier to get on and off. So I have a couple here. This one is like a purplish and orange color. And then I have this blue one. This is called the Shipwreck Siren. And I have a peachy colored one over here. And then this one over here actually has scales on it. This is called a mythic tail. So it's got all individual little scales. And the fluke is made out of silicone. And then these ones over here are just some that I use for photo shoots. These little ones, these are suntails. And then all of the mermaid tails, actually, you have to wear a monofin inside when you're swimming for safety reasons. I have a bunch more over here. I didn't take them all out, but these are actually all ones that I've made. They're all like little spandex tails. I have a whole bunch, and I actually have some for birthday parties that are walking tails. So basically, the kids can wear them if they don't want to swim, then they just wear them like a skirt. Like that. And then I have all of my crowns, necklaces, headbands. I don't know if you can't really tell. But yeah, it's so much fun. I really enjoy doing it.
Is it hard to swim with a tail on?
It is different to swim with the tail on, and usually what I tell people I recommend is using just the monofin first. So it's just, you just put your feet in there and you swim with that, because then your knees aren't so tight together. You have a little bit more freedom. And when you feel comfortable swimming that way, then you put the tail on. And always have somebody in the pool with you, always have an adult. And you should be pretty comfortable being able to swim already when you're in a mermaid tail, because there can be safety issues if you're not careful. So you wouldn't ever want to pull it all the way up and put your arms inside. We've seen some videos of kids not using them the right way, and then there was some safety concerns. So you always just want to wear it the way you're supposed to, and you always have to have an adult with you supervising, and always have the monofin in, because it could be unsafe if you're swimming in it without the monofin. That's what's helping you swim.
So do you have any advice for kids that might want to be a mermaid someday?
Well, everybody's a mermaid in their heart, first of all. But I would say doing some research and figuring out like what kind of tail you want to get. Definitely want to start with a spandex tail, which is the last two that I showed you, and then some of the ones that I've made. You can make one easily. if you can look up, if your parents can look up a tutorial on YouTube, you can look, they can help you sew one. And then definitely start with just the monofin and gradually move up to the actual mermaid tail. So you want to just look online and find some reputable places. A lot of the tails that I have are fin fun mermaid tails or sun tails mermaid tails. Mertailor is another one that has some really pretty tails. So you just kind of have to figure out which color you like, pick your favorite color, and just make sure you know how to swim well. And the dolphin kick is the one that you pretty much use when you're swimming. So it kind of, it's like an undulation under the water.
How long have you been a mermaid?
I have been a mermaid since about 2012. And I first started because I had saw some photos online of mermaid tails, and I'm actually a photographer as well, and I had wanted to do a photo shoot with one. And the original tail I had seen was from Mertailor, which is a very famous mermaid tail maker. And that was the first time I saw a tail, and it was probably even before that, like 2011. And then I just started doing research on mermaid tails and meeting other people that were mermaids. And I actually made my first tail, which was a blue, it was like a turquoise blue, and it was made out of spandex. And I had a fin that I put inside, and then I just started swimming at the pool. We have a pool nearby that I would swim at, and that's how I started. And I just progressed, and I figured I love working with kids, so I wanted to share that with kids and have them have like a magical experience.
That's really wonderful. This week we're talking about sleep. Has there ever been a time when you feel comfortable sharing about when you've had trouble falling asleep, or maybe you have some tips on how to fall asleep?
Sure. Sometimes I have trouble falling asleep, and it's usually when I have a lot of things on my mind. So I like to make a lot of things. I like to make a lot of crafts, or I like to work on a lot of projects, and sometimes I take on too many projects all at one time. So when I go to bed at night, I have a hard time trying to figure out what I want to work on. And what's helped me a little bit is if I make a list before I go to bed of all the things I don't want to forget and that I want to work on the next day. So if that's like a craft project, or if I'm working on some kind of costume, or if I want to work on making a video or taking photos, I'll write that all down so that I don't have to worry about forgetting it. And that helps a lot. Now, if I go to bed and that's not helping, then what I usually do is I tell myself a story. So in my mind, I'll close my eyes and I'll try to relax, and I'll picture myself like I was like telling a story. Like I was walking along the beach and I found some beautiful seashells, and then I decided, what can I make with these seashells? And I would think about different jewelry I can make, or building a sandcastle, or sometimes it's just walking down a pathway in the mountains and all the things that I see. So then eventually I just drift off to sleep, and that really helps.
Oh, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we say goodbye?
Just that I enjoy talking with all my friends, and that if you really want to be a mermaid, you can. Bye.